What's going on, everybody? Hello. Sorry I'm late. And sorry to Patreon for saying I was going to be early, and then I was just straight up late. Just late. I was just late, which is super cool. Sorry about that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great couple of weeks. I apologize for being late. I'm here. I'm back from Bourbon and Beyond. It was a very exhausting week. But I have made it. Woo! Goodness gracious, goodness gracious, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Sean Holtgrave, good to see you, brother. I guess I better let people know that I'm live. Guys, I didn't get the chance to post about it because I was so late. Woo! Recapping Bourbon and Beyond. Reviewing a bunch of products and catching up on the news. Get in now. Link youtube.com/this is my Bourbon Podcast. Oop, I gotta spell it right. Sorry. Kyle. Howdy, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing fabulous. And I hope everybody's had a great couple of weeks. I hope things have been spectacular. I am still recovering from Bourbon and Beyond. I am still quite tired. And I'm still I'm just happy to be here, though. And I'm happy to let you know that if you want to support the stream, you can do so by becoming a subscriber on Twitch. Hit that sub button. Or over on Patreon. Patreon.com/mybourbonpod for as little as $1 a month. Oh, okay. Things are crazy, huh? Can't do the festival thing. I've always been a gramp on that aspect. It's challenging. I didn't actually do a whole lot of festivaling as it were. I mean, I was doing a lot more actual, going to doing a lot more like working. Hi, Mr. Perry. I'm supposed to be drinking Dark Arts with Sarah right now, but someone hit me with a Mack truck of sickness, FML. Dude, I am so sorry to hear that. Hope we start feeling better soon, Tony. And good to see you. I wish you could be doing that instead of being here, but good to see you regardless. Thank you to everybody who is watching on Twitch. Goodness gracious, there are a fair few more people than are normally watching on Twitch. I hope it's for good reasons and not bad. Thinking about hot toddy, but I don't have any lemons. What about lemon juice? And if you're lingering in the Twitch chat and you haven't said hi yet, please do so. All you have to do is follow if you're not yet a follower. Oh, it suddenly dropped by half. What the crap? Just poured some Rampart double cast because hell yeah, Indiana, I guess. Okay, good. You are alive. Saw your Instagram story. Thought you died. Love you going to get ready for the game. Go Bills. Fins down. Hi, Eric. No, I am both live and alive. Go Bills. That stupid puppet's still there? What do you mean? He's my boy. It's the He's fine. Just ignore him. Just ignore him. He's not bothering you. Mutate is very funny. And I can't believe I never once thought of that in all the years that we did the podcast together. I cannot believe that I never once thought of mutate. Very disappointed in myself. All right, let's pour something. What a great start. You know it. You love it. Of course, we're starting with Turkey 101 8-year, which I can confirm, by the way, after hearing from Mr. Bruce Russell over the weekend. He has officially said that it is a permanent addition to the lineup for the Wild Turkey line. He said, now don't go buying nothing on secondary for extra monies. That's a direct quote from him. Which makes me very happy. I know that Shy Guy, where's my stream? What did you buy at the fest? Parking. I bought a lot of parking at the festival. A couple of pours of Jack Daniels, a couple of pours of Jim Beam, and like one Mick Ultra. Everything was very expensive. I listened to the podcast. You're very good at interviewing. Thank you. I appreciate that. As if you've never listened to any of the podcasts before and you listen to me interviewing random people for the first time, that is a great way to understand how I function on the show as an interviewer. Although I don't care much for that genre of music, but everyone was very nice. Yeah, I mean, I all of that music is right up my alley. But I had a great time at Bourbon and Beyond for the most part. We will get into some of the recap here in just a bit. I just recorded a somewhat short, but a bonus podcast for Patreon that will come out next week in lieu of The Music Is Not For Me, Not Mad Enough. Been listening to a lot of Tom Waits and Bob Dylan lately, but I'm usually a metalhead. Well, there you go. Because Patreon got all of the interviews that will come out. Well, half of them came out this week. The other half will come out next week. Because they got everything all at once this week. Chad, My Daily Bourbon, and I recorded a bonus episode earlier today that will come out next week for Patreon. That is a lot of fun. He and I had a great time recording that, and I really, really look forward to you all checking that out. In it, I went through and talked about some of my complaints with Did We Kiss? No. Although I imagine there are some people who would probably enjoy that. That being said, though, that is not for me. Why is there a little like question mark thing on the corner? I can't even get to it. That's so funny. Did y'all use it? No, we did not use it. I do know what you're talking about, which is why I did not expound further on asking for clarification. But I talked about some of my issues with the festival, mainly from a media and creator standpoint. But there were some issues, of course, that I had with the festival overall that I go into on that podcast. That I will also talk about some here as well, because I think it's important to bring up for you all, because it's not just a me thing. It's also something that I think needs to be talked about for the general public. But anyway, cheers. I feel like I want to go at least once, but at the same time, I'm worried it's just going to be a cash grab and nothing interesting will be there. We'll get there in just a second. Cheers. So I got there on Thursday, right? Just need some more bourbon before we get to the shit talking. Can't drink today, worked out and trying to not drink every day. Yeah, I need to get better about it as well. I just need to get back to the gym. I haven't been in a few weeks. I've been exhausted. I can feel it. Drinking bourbon spirit. That's very funny. I will walk you all through a very I'll try to abbreviate my timeline of how the I can feel it, Mr. Krabs. Yes. A very abbreviated timeline of how the weekend went for me. I got there Thursday morning. As I said on this week's episode of the podcast, I asked no less than 87 people how to get to the media tent. None of them knew. I just basically kept asking people where I was, and none of them really knew exactly where I was on the festival grounds. And I kept saying, I just need to orient myself, and then I can figure it out. And I kept saying, I'm tired of asking people. I just want to get to the media tent. So finally figured out that I needed to go through the VIP area, which as media, we had access to the general VIP. There were two areas of VIP. One of them was the Angels Envy VIP, which was the nicer area. And then there was the regular VIP, which was still nice. They had a 3-tier viewing area that was super cool. But the layout was a little confusing. So I'll show you real quick the map. All right. So the first day, this is where I entered, the Cardinal entrance. We were told by the promo team that it was best for us to enter by the Highland entrance. Okay? And on the little map that we were given, we were told that media was going to be set up over here. Okay? Now, they said go through gate 1, pitch it. Angel's Envy should make a peanut butter barrel finish and call it Peanuts Envy. I love that. We were told we should go through the Expo Center gate 1, park. It's going to be quicker to go through the Highland entrance, and then we can walk across to the VIP entrance, and we can get to the media area. First day, I parked through gate 4, went through the Cardinal entrance. This walk from my car to media was about 15 minutes. Not that bad. Okay. Second day, I did what they told me to. I went through gate 1, and they parked me in friggin' Africa. They parked me because I got there early and did what I was basically supposed to do. Parked me as far away as possible. I can't zoom out far enough to show you where I parked. If this is the entrance, where I parked is so far down on my screen that it's basically on the floor. So it took me, if this is the entrance and my car was over here, and I had to walk from there to here, and it took me 15 minutes, it took me 30 minutes on the second day to get from my car to the media tent. It was like a heat index of like 95. I'm carrying a 50-pound bag of equipment on my back. I am sweating so bad. I have an 11:30 interview. That's the Yachtly crew interview that you heard on the podcast. That's my first interview on Friday. Please park 5 miles away and carry all your stuff here yourself. Exactly. They should really do Bourbon Fest around fall. This is supposed to be fall. It's Bourbon Heritage Month. That's the problem. So the unfortunate issue here too, this area that you can't tell really on the map is right next to the Kentucky Expo Center. It is not just next to the Kentucky Expo Center, it is part of an entrance to the Kentucky Expo Center. So they don't have a tent set up for us this year. I am sitting at a high top table on a stool with an umbrella. So my first interview with Jade Bird, my computer and my camera die. They crash out. I get an error message on my computer saying that the disk is running too slow because it is so ungodly hot out there. It is miserably hot. So that's why in that episode I say, hey, I didn't realize my equipment was shorting out. Here's the interview with Jade. It's insane. So we normally have a tent in media. Now we're just kind of left for the wolves, right? Okay. So I want to point out one more thing on this map. Two more things, actually, before we move on. I mentioned that this is the VIP entrance, right? Okay. Here we have a building for indoor merch. Here is the first section of VIP. Over here is the Beyond VIP, the Angels Envy area, right? Over here is the Fork and Flask stage where you go for the demonstrations, you go for the panels. This is where the bourbon part of Bourbon and Beyond, like if you go to the Big Bourbon Bar, if you go to some of the activation tents, this is where you would go to see like master distillers. Or if you wanted to go and learn more about culinary experiences, this is where you would go, right? In the past, the Fork and Flask stage was stationed, and this is like a rough way of putting it because this layout was announced 6 weeks ago, which we covered on a live stream. The Fork and Flask stage was located somewhere like here, right? Where you could access it by just kind of passing by it. And you would go, oh, there's a talk happening and there's celebrities there. I'm going to stop by and see what's going on. If you're walking through this area, how on earth would you notice that this stage, curated by Kroger, who is their biggest sponsor, was even happening? Terry Bradshaw, a Hall of Famer in the NFL, had a panel where 40 people showed up. Terry Bradshaw, an NFL Pro Bowler, had 40 people show up to his panel. Because this stage was packed into a corner so far away from everything else. Hell yeah, back it up, Terry Bradshaw. The other thing I want to point out, this area here with the Revival stage and the 100 Proof stage. Hi, Brian. Good to see you, buddy. I need to go to Louder Than Life. I would rather be nibbled to death by ducks right now. I am so tired. 40 and you're welcome. Hello, Sugar Kitty. Good to see you. I am so worn out from Bourbon and Beyond. I worked so unbelievably hard this whole weekend. So the Revival stage... Drink a Spro. What? Also, I'm just not realizing my overlay is not on. Louder Than Life pre-shows and past shows are always better, but that's because I hate festivals. Anyway. So here was the Revival stage and the 100 Proof stage. This was like the mid-tier stage. I was watching for a notification, but nope, YouTube, gotta love them. Of course. Of course. Mid-tier stages. This was like the main alley where all of the activations and all of the tents for like the places where you go see brands and everything were set up. Here's the big bourbon stage, right? And all the way over here is the Oak and Barrel stage. These are the main stages where people like Sturgill Simpson, acts like the Lumineers, Cage the Elephant. That's where these artists were playing. Keep in mind that the big bourbon bar, where all of the main brands were, was set up that far away. And this alley is where the main activations were set up as well. There were people who had no idea that these activations were even here. Rabbit Hole, Jefferson's, Bullet, For Roses. So many people missed them because they were more focused on, rightfully so, going to the main big stages, Oak and Barrel. Didn't care as much about the mid-tier stage and probably completely missed the big bourbon bar. How on earth did they set this up? It's so confusing to me. It made no sense. This is not even getting into the issues that I had with the way that media was handled. And media was handled very, very poorly this year. I mean, I know I talked about like us baking, being right underneath the sun and not having an actual tent, and my equipment just cooking the first day. Not even mentioning like me having to take care of photographers' equipment because I just was worried that like their computers and their cameras were going to die while they were out shooting artists. And I'm trying to sit there and interview people. It was a tragedy that things were set up the way that they were for media. But that is beside the point. This layout, I hope that they changed something for Louder Than Life. I haven't looked into it. I haven't asked anybody. That being said, though, the content that I got for Bourbon and Beyond, some of the best interviews that I have done for a festival like this. I hope that you all enjoyed the first round. Next week is going to be part 2. I really, really enjoyed the interviews. There's so much more to come. If you're not a Patreon member and you haven't heard it yet, it seems weird with it being a Minic event for media to be treated so poorly. So here's the thing. If you don't follow Fred, for anybody who doesn't know, and you all probably do know this, Fred was originally not slated to show up to Bourbon and Beyond this past weekend because he had eye surgery. I was texting him Thursday, and I just was like, hey, I'm going to miss seeing you there because, it's Bourbon and Beyond. It's kind of just not the same without you. And he said, I'm more than likely going to be there on Saturday. I was like, great. Well, I guess I'm going to see you on Saturday then. Didn't show up on Saturday. He showed up on Sunday, which was my last day. I left on Sunday around 5 o'clock. And he got there around like 1 or 2. I don't remember for sure. So he and I sat down and talked for a little bit. And I asked him what he thought about the layout. And what, I kind of gave him like my thoughts about the way the media was handled too. And he was like, I got to be honest with you. I had no hand in it this year. Which sucks. It just royally sucks. Because this has always been his baby. I don't know what that means for the way that Danny Wimmer Productions has, or Danny Wimmer Presents, whatever it's called. Danny Wimmer Presents, I just saw it. I don't know what that means for the way that it's going to move forward. But here is my honest assessment. And I talked about this on the podcast. It's going to come out for Patreon. This is not like a major revelation or anything, but I was questioning Friday night, after watching Fish and after having walked all over God's green earth, trying to get back to my car and feeling just miserable. My feet were literally bleeding. By the time I got back to my car, I had to just take my shoes off and walk over gravel because it was easier to do that than it was continue to bleed into my sneakers. I was just questioning whether or not it was worth it. And it's because of the fact that there was no media support. Metal AF, yeah. There was no media support. We were paying for all of our food. We were paying for all of our parking. And as somebody who is an independent media creator. I have no news outlet. I have no radio station. I don't have anybody that is behind me. Everything came out of pocket. Right? I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm not trying to sit here and complain, but I don't go and do this for exposure. I have done this so long that at this point it's because I love this festival. I love my state. I love the fact that I can go and be an ambassador for bourbon and for Kentucky. And I want to celebrate those things, and I want to go and interview these artists, and I say, welcome to my home state. How much does it mean to you to be here? It means a lot for you to be. It means a lot to me that you are here. And it is difficult to make it worth it when the amount of work that I put in might not have a return on investment. And yes, there is a cost-benefit analysis that goes into that too, being somebody who does all of the work and puts in almost literally back-breaking labor. Like, I was at like a 45-degree angle walking back to my car on Sunday by the time it was all said and done. I was so worn out. And I hope that you all enjoy the content that comes from it. This is not me being like, you have to go listen to it or else it's not going to be worth it. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to go back next year because there needs to be a fundamental shift in the way that they support the independent media that goes there, because we are not backed by anything. And I'm not trying to do this to boost my numbers. I'm not trying to boost their numbers either. There is something more inherent about all of it. And I've talked to some of their management. I suppose the obvious answer for next year is obvious. It is. And I'm waiting on a couple of answers to also come back from them before any decision is truthfully made. But at this point, like, I can't rightfully say that I'm going to go and spend 4 full days doing exactly what I did this year. It's so much, you know, it's so much. Anyway, that is my short little recap of Bourbon and Beyond from a media standpoint. I didn't get to see a whole lot of music. I stayed and watched Fish on, Krungbin and Fish on Friday night, and then Jack White and Sturgill Simpson on Saturday night. Everything that I got to see was incredible. Just top-tier musicians doing everything that they possibly can do at the top-tier level, and it was beautiful. I just wish I had been able to see more and cover more from a like actual music standpoint instead of only doing interviews. But it's just part of it, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't doing what I was there to do. Has Danny Wimmer always been in charge? It seems to me, why would DW care about the media and bourbon side of the event? As long as they get their millions of dollars at the artist's expense, they're all good. Yes, they have always been in charge. This has always been their baby in conjunction with Fred Minnick. I don't know where their heads were at this year. Keeping in mind, too, that something like the layout change happened so soon in relation to the start date for the festival that there could have been something shaking up behind the scenes that not only were we not privy to, but it almost like didn't matter. But at the same time, like, if you're going to call yourself Bourbon and Beyond, why have such a, where is the more like, where is the emphasis on bourbon? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, it's Beyond and bourbon. And Chad made that joke on the episode that's going to come out next week. But it is what it is. So anyway, I've talked about it a lot. This wild turkey is really good. I need some water. Also, just in general, it's been an insane couple of weeks. Just outside of bourbon world. And I hope that everybody's mental health is okay. I hope you're doing all right. I'm not going to get into it here, but not talking about it. No, we're not talking about it. But I'm just saying, I hope everybody's okay. I hope you are. I hope you're fine. And that's all we're going to say. So, hello, Clifton. Good to see you, my friend. How's your week been? Traumatized, but okay. That's me lurking. Yeah, we're going to move on. I just wanted to say that. But that's me lurking in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my ability. I wish my actual health was good. I have 101 rye. Really? I don't know what the really is supposed to be. And honey to make me feel. Is that supposed to be tea? I think it's supposed to be tea. And honey to make me feel better. I just wish I didn't see it. Hope y'all are good too. Yeah, okay, it was supposed to be tea. I also saw it. And I don't wish that anybody else saw it. I hope you don't see it. I witness a lot of atrocities that happen overseas on a daily basis. And that was one of the more gruesome things that I have witnessed in my life. One of my good friend's previous job was at Jimmy Kimmel, so you can guess how I'm feeling. Let me just say, I'm happy to be free and independent media today. Yeah. I didn't see it. I stayed off social media that day. We saw 10 Bips Peanuts. I never did military, but worked security at a hospital and saw some very gruesome stuff. It was a brutal. It was brutal to see. I truly hope that if you have avoided it for this long, please do not seek it out. Anyway. I saw some ish in the early days of the internet. I don't need any more forever images in my head. Yeah. Yeah. Not a good time to be an internet haver. Or anybody who is even slightly curious about atrocities say that much. Anyway, what have y'all been drinking recently? Or lately? Yeah. Oh, man. I was going to do this news. Trying to think if there's anything I really want to, like, cover. I don't care to do that tonight. Nah, you know what? We're going to save the news for next week. Next week's going to be a big news stream. And tonight we're just hanging out. I'm going to still do my reviews. But I just don't have the news in me tonight. I'm a bit exhausted. I haven't bought much in a while until I get a new job. Literally got through most of my good stuff, so now there's nothing very fun to drink. There's nothing wrong with that. Poor me, poor you. I'm going to get through these reviews here in a minute, and then we will have some fun with stuff to drink. Local liquor. Oh my gosh. My local liquor store has a 101 rye barrel pick they're trying to charge $80 for. F it, hazmat only night. Only tonight, let's go. I could get down with that. What distilleries overcharge for mediocre stuff? Anything that's 2 years old and like $85. All right. Whistle Pig. Hold up. Do. All right, let's pull up some information about OAKLORE. Which I have never had before. And actually, info sheet. Shots fired at Still Austin. I'm not a big Still Austin fan, but I mean, some of their stuff is pretty good. Whistle Pig has never impressed me. Yeah. Wasn't the Kentucky Spirit we picked up at Turkey like $85? Yeah, it was. But that was a special bottle. I heard something about barrel seagrass slushies. Ooh. But Whistle Pig would work in my toddies? There we go. All right. OAKLORE bourbon. This is a 4-grain. 92 proof. My sample leaked in the mail. Pitch it. Okay, boomer pre-prohibition style whiskey. I love it. They sent a pretty hefty sample, though. I mean, it feels hefty. It's literally just one of these, like, 100 ml bottles, I guess. But there's something different about it when it comes in, like, a round, what do they call it? Boston round sample bottles. Is your sample incontinent? It did come with a weird little bag. But let's see. Why? Seriously? It's been doing that for a while. I don't know why. Our flagship spirit embodies the bold, savory character that defines OAKLORE. This unique 4-grain bourbon brings together wheat, rye, corn, and barley, all aged to perfection for 4 to 6 years. It's a testament to our commitment to crafting exceptional spirits. The one sheeter that I got says 5 to 6 now, but it's still 92 proof and still 4-grain. It is $70 a bottle. 72% corn, 11% wheat, 10% rye, and 7% malted barley. Bringing together our best 5 to 6 year old barrels from our sister distilleries in North Carolina and Kentucky. We batch them, let them get to know each other for 48 hours or so, then rebarrel them in the same barrels for additional aging, usually more than 6 to 8 months. Once we feel the barrels are ready and matured, we batch them one last time before proofing and bottling to 92 proof. It's time-consuming and labor-intensive, but we truly believe it's worth the effort and makes all the difference. We hope you'll agree. I'm 50-50 on their label style. It's clean but slightly uninteresting. I agree with you. I think that there needs to be more interplay between the actual text part of the logo, the typeface, and the logo itself. I don't know. The whatever it's called. This thing. It's fine. The Dead Atchery logo. Well, their notes for the nose are toasted pecans and honey butter cake. I get dried leaves and used ointment. Nose is dog doo-doo and oak. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay. I like the palate. It drinks very solidly at 92 proof. Okay. I'm not getting anything that's making me like go crazy, I guess. Honey, peanut brittle. Soft and boring. Heard that one before. It's not my favorite. I've had worse things. It is just it's aggressively mid. I think is the best way to put it. Yep. Let's don't find out more about this here rye whiskey. It's a North Carolina straight rye whiskey. Small batch of the best rye whiskey barrels this state has to offer. Well, that doesn't give you a lot of hope now, does it? You ever get weird fruity honey notes that just don't taste good? Yes. I can see it in your action, almost typed mid. I kind of dislike when a whiskey has no oak flavor and all just sugar. It is kind of just... Well, it's not that it's all sugar. It's just like... It's almost mostly fruit. Weirdly enough. This North Carolina story is a small batch of the... What is this sentence? This North Carolina story is a small batch of the best rye whiskey barrels this state has to offer. Mostly not even good sugar notes. I can basically guarantee the rye will be better. Either that or it'll be a dill bomb. It's going to be either one or the other. Maybe both. If that's what they have, that's sad. I'm concerned. Age 6+ years. This straight rye whiskey sets the mark for North Carolina rye. Check out our single barrel selections available at Also 92 proof. I guess they went to North Carolina public schools. Hey, I know fine people that went to North Carolina public schools. They're still there. I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, it's definitely better. I'm not crazy about it. Better than Arizona public school, from what I've heard. Dog. We don't need to get into that. I misspoke. North Kakalaki. Oh boy. This stream might get me canceled. I'm glad you're all here for it. Worst rye I had was Oregon Spirit Rye. Tastes like bitter foot fungus and gin. We try every stream. I am aware. I am fully aware, my friend. At least, like, we being me, for sure. Yeah. Like, at least, you know, I haven't done anything that's sending the, you know, nobody's, never mind. It smells like a Christmas tree. That's nice. It tastes like a Christmas tree. Nose starts with light wood tones, almost like a kiss from a barrel. I've been kissed by a barrel on the grave. Comes through with agave notes, then transitions to sweet rice cereal. Finish subtle and sweet with some medium pepper spices. OAKLORE. This is definitely better. It absolutely does not read like a rye on the palate nor the finish. It 100% smells like one on the nose. Could you stop it? Sorry, my backpack's bugging me. I'm going to chalk up the bourbon issues that I have to it being oxidized from transportation. I'll be honest with you. Oh boy, Bloody Butcher corn. Honey bourbon. Oh, the Bloody Butcher's coming out October 1st. Honey bourbon November 29th. Available for purchase at the distillery only. Funny when a distillery is nice enough to send a sample to you and it sucks. I feel bad when I have a reaction like that on stream where I can't edit anything, or that I don't try it before I go live. Never had a good Bloody Butcher. You can't lie about it, though. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, but also, so my philosophy is typically try it before. If it's a new brand I've never had before, try it before you go live or try it before you review it on a podcast. And that way you know whether or not you're going to... Because the worst thing I can do is just fully drag a brand, right? And I'm not dragging OAKLORE by any means. I just was, I was not in love with the bourbon. The rye is quite a bit better. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely better. I'm going to go back to the bourbon, actually. 93 points from Wine Enthusiast. How many points do Wine Enthusiast give it? It's a 300-point scale. Then when honesty, you give them honesty. I mean, for sure. For sure. Feel bad for the master distillers that work their butt off to try to make a good bourbon/rye, but once it's time to bottle, they taste it and it sucks, but they have to try their best to sell it like it's good. Yeah. But if you're a master distiller, you should have the palate to know how bad the bourbon came out was. Bourbon has gotten better the longer that it is sat open. Again, I'm not like in love with it by any means, but it's definitely more complex the longer that it's sat there. But I just don't know. Like, I don't know if any of the reaction that I'm having to it is because of the oxidization that might have happened in transportation. I feel like brands should, 1, know their product, 2, know who their target audience is, and 3, consider if you as a reviewer are their target audience. I think you're right, and I think that a lot of brands get target audiences and objective reviewers confused a lot of times, because I'm going to objectively review any product that is given to me. Like, I don't want to take a product and just immediately, like, if I have issues with it, if I don't like it, just immediately kick it, you know? But sorry, I only had 1 cup of coffee today. At the same time, I am going to be honest to the best of my ability. Like, it's not doing me or the brand any good to just straight up be like, well, this sucks, and not give any constructive criticism. But at the same time, I feel like everybody has heard the, like, well, it's not for me, but if you like wet oak with hints of rusty hay, then you're gonna love this. Like, people have heard that argument a million times. And I think that is constructive and good for people who are trying to find something that they like. But it gets tired, you know. Wonder if a higher proof could have saved it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yawn during a review. You find my bourbon boring re. There are a dime a dozen brands, so in my opinion, they should be treated as such. Yeah. Can I kick it? I said, can I kick it? Hello? Can I kick it? Oh, here we go. Yes, I can. Never mind. Crickets. Can I cricket? I'm the kicker of the kickets and the kick it. Cricker and the kick it. All right, let's see how the blend is. I have no clue what's going to happen here. Can I kick it? To all the people who can vibe what the tribe does. Before this, did you really know what I was? I'm someone who definitely doesn't like the bourbon for regular liquor stores to sell to normies, though. I mean, I like, typically I don't either, but having just recently revisited, as you know, as recent as this weekend, Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Jim Beam White Label, they are both still quite good. like honestly, they're still good. They still have merit to them. And I'm not saying that, like, they're going to replace anything that I drink normally that's higher proof, that's, you know, considered more like, you know, aficionado or whatever. But there's still, like, there is a reason why they are the most popular whiskeys on the market. And I love going back to those bourbons and reintroducing them into my lexicon. I told a friend to try Old No. 7 once. You develop your palate. It's good, but just water. Oh, for sure. It's just that it's watered down. For sure. Didn't we talk about this on stream a couple weeks ago? BB no money face. I mean, Jim and Jack have stood the test of time for a massive reason. It's good. Oh, yeah, you did have me do it, Shy Guy. I have a whole shelf of 80 proof entry bourbons for reference. Yeah, I think you have to. Like, I feel like there was somebody who told me once that they only had like over 100 proof bourbons in their collection. And I was like, okay, like, you might die. You might just straight up perish one day. You know? Sorry. It's how you keep yourself grounded. Yeah. It's good to have reference points. The blend between the two is fine. Helps to appreciate the rest of your collection more too. Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I love barrel proof bourbons. Like I'm so exhausted. I'm pretty worn out too. I genuinely still feel like I'm recovering from this past weekend. Did deadlift and /bicep day today and haven't sat down since. Holy Moses. I'll take the Michter's 10 he doesn't want. That's another good point is like there are some great like double-digit age statement whiskeys that are sub 100 proof. And I feel like if you limit yourself to 100 and above, you are going to miss out on great products that otherwise, you know, fall under an umbrella that you're not willing to accept. Smoked chicken breast made homemade potato salad, clean an apartment. Sounds so nice. I beg Chad for low proof rare character blends every time I see him in person. RCLR 92 proof would be a dream. I would say 94 proof personally, because that's the proof that I fell in love with bourbon at. But I'm on board with you, Kyle, for sure. And you know, they've got the new okay, buddy boy. They've got a new maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna be quiet. Never mind. I don't want to get in trouble. Chad might take back all my whiskey that I got from him. We all know about the rye. Oh, do we? The labels are out there? Oh, okay. Yeah, the cocktail rye that they're making. I just saw the name of it. He gave me a shirt and a glass, and I cannot think of what it's called off the top of my head. Something Knoll starts with an H. Hutch Knoll or something like that. That's going to be like 100 proof, which I mean is super cool. I think that's great, and I think it's something. It's going to be like $50 or $60, and I think it's great that Rare Character's finally doing something that's in the more affordable price range. I mean, it's been a necessity for a very, very long time. A very long time. Oh, that's Stream Elements. Sorry. But you can support the show and get weekly bonus content as well as access to our Discord by joining patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. Thank you, Stream Elements bot. Thank you, you clunker. The clankers are taking over. All right. It's real Joe is hungry. Introduction. So, Heaven Hill golf ball set. I've already got one of those. It's the Elijah Craig ones. No, these are. This is the new BERNHEIM barrel proof. Speaking of Heaven Hill, yeah. Haven't heard anything from them about the barrel proof rye. I don't golf, but it's funny how much most of the bourbon community are golfers. Hang on. I got to fix my mic real quick. I also am not a golfer, and it's not something that I can do physically. I don't have the physical ability to do so. It's just because I suck at it. Just saw a post about the barrel proof rye, 12-year barrel proof for $74.99 all day, every day. Snag, hell yeah. I would like to try it first. I'm curious. But I haven't gotten it in the mail yet. I would hate to be stuck golfing with a bunch of people who fall under the usual golfer category. Not my type of people. I'm a chameleon. Bullet 12 at 90 something proof was 55 to 20. Was 50. Bullet 12 at 90-something proof was $55. So $20 more for cast strength Heaven Hill whiskey. Easy. Yeah. I can be nice and get along with people, but I'm totally judging secretly. That's fair. Maybe 65. I can't remember. No more. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember either. So, anyway, this is BERNHEIM Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey. Batch. Even though it says C925 on the label and on the website, it is B525. They messed themselves up. It's 118.4 proof. It is, if I believe, or if I remember correctly, it's 6 to 8 years, but it might be 7 to 9. Let's... Yeah, 7 to 9. God, please don't suck for once. Oh, come on. It's so funny that they mess this up, and I don't know why they can't just go onto their website and fix it. Batch B925 turned out so well, we got ahead of ourselves and accidentally labeled it Batch C925. Consider this a happy little mistake. It makes your bottle one of a kind. I don't know. Too late. Sorry. Yeah. Heaven Hill make BERNHEIM, not super boring sugar water. Yeah. They're not being particularly transparent otherwise, but just lean into it and say they made a secret batch. They totally could. They could do so much more. It smells like cologne. It just straight up smells like granddad's cologne. Make it seem like you're the only person who got a sample and it's the most amazing juice you've ever juiced, but they'll never release it again. All right, I'm going to change up my strategy from here on out. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Tony B, what's going on? Howdy, buddy. Reviewing C925, actually B925 Bernheim wheat whiskey barrel proof. Only true followers know the curd words, like amazing equals trash. Yeah, it's all just dog whistles. No, it's great. It's really great. You should go buy every bottle. You should totally overpay wherever you see it. On secondary. On sketchy liquor stores. You should go find it. Oh, no. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. It does taste like nutty gasoline. Notes of sulfur, fermented sweat socks, cachaça. I had so my band teacher in middle school. I loved her to death. She was great. But she had this way of giving you the worst news possible with a smile. And she would call us from playing. Right? She'd call it. And she'd go, "Now, guys," you know, I'm kind of exaggerating, but that was some of the worst playing I've ever heard in my entire life. None of you have practiced. I think you all are terrible at your instruments. I'm pretty sure you've seen it for the first time today. And I can't believe that I have to sit here and listen to you play them. Now we're going to take it from bar 24. Make sure you're in tune, or you're all going to get thrown out of the window. The sentiment was there. I mean, it wasn't, you know, exactly that, but that's how real band teachers approach it, though. Yeah, I mean, it was. They put the fear of God into you. I can't believe I have to take another sip of this. That is single-handedly without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, and I do not say this lightly, the worst release of 2025. That is so bad. It is so bad. Durian note. It is sour. But it's almost like it's almost You know what? Don't bring it into your house. I probably will not. Hey, Dad. Papa Ritter's here. Now compared to Star Hill Farms. Easy. Speaking of news, did you see the Intel Nvidia multi-billion-dollar venture? I kind of saw it in my periphery, but I did not read too much into it. It sounds like it's a monopoly. And your boy's not about that. That greeting was very Spinal Tap. Ultra Monopoly that's just going to raise the prices on everything. Boy, howdy. If I'm not already feeling like my entire wallet is just squeezed so thin, it's crying. Dog, the Star Hill Farm. Smell the glove is here. The Star Hill Farm is leaps and bounds better. I wonder why everything's so expensive right now. I have no idea. I've got no clue why everything's so expensive right now. Big business is the American dream. So thankful that we are bringing back the Rockefeller vibes these days. Monopoly? I never get Boardwalk. Everything bad right now starts with the letter T. I do. Oh, Kyle. Kyle, my goat. Yeah, that's right. Free Palestine, baby. The numbers start dropping. They're like, how dare he says that? How dare he be against genocide? God, this Star Hill Farms is so much better. You're a bad influence. I want bourbon now. I thought you deserved a treat after that gasoline. It is quite nice. It is quite nice. You've gotten me feeling like I should open a bottle as well. So the last time that I streamed, I watched a new Joe is Hungry with you fine folks. And it's not that my stream got clapped. Open one up. I think I just might. I think Chad's right when he said it's the best thing Makers has released. I kind of feel like it. Where am I Joe at? Screw it. We're going to watch some Joe. Because I'm behind. I've missed a couple of Joe videos. Hang on, let me grab a bottle. All right. I grabbed a couple. Joe Booty. I'm putting pressure on my kid to open a bottle. All right, let me make sure my audio is properly set up. No. Friggin' hate. Now, I might have to restart my capture a couple times. Dad of the year. Because it has been very, very frustrating. Did I get a bottle of Chade's Old Root 8-pick? No, I didn't. I meant to, because I saw him today, and I meant to get a pour of it. It's Joe time, everybody. Joe is hungry. We are going to start with, because like I said, I'm two videos behind. It's wild how Bills rob me of joy. Yes. We're going to start with the new Jimmy John's new Sicilian pizza sandwich.
Man's cranking them out.
If you don't know, if I've never talked about Will Neff, I think I talked about him the last time that we watched Joe. He is one of my favorite streamers. Watch him on Twitch or watch his YouTube videos. He is an absolutely spectacular streamer. Incredibly funny. He is who introduced me to Joe. And I do love the Neff. Yes, I do. Anybody who doesn't like Skittles is just plain sad. Skittles might be one of the best candies of all time.
Welcome back, all you hungry people. I actually think we have a good food review today. My name is Joe, and this is the Joe is Hungry channel, where today we're headed over to Jimmy John's to check out one of their 2 new toasted sandwiches, put it under the microscope, take it all apart, put it back together right here within the city limits of Fairmount, Georgia. Alexandria, Aya, Benjamin, Michael, and Tristan, thank you all for supporting the channel, and happy birthday. Kristen, Michael, Lucas, and Tim, Hope, Trevor, and Presley, I want to wish each and every one of you a very hungry happy birthday. With that behind us, Jimmy John's limited time offer, toasted sub sandwiches, come in 2 versions. The 3-cheese pizza sandwich, which we're not doing today, is constructed with mozzarella, parmesan, and provolone cheese, zesty marinara sauce, oregano and basil on a toasted 8-inch French roll. The Sicilian...
One time in 5th grade, I was at someone's birthday party. They had sour Skittles in giant bowls for everyone. I ate so many sour Skittles, my mouth was raw. Literal goals.
Pizza sandwich, which we are doing today. It's constructed with salami, capicola, and ham, melted mozzarella cheese, zesty marinara sauce, oregano and basil, and again on a toasted 8-inch French roll. The Sicilian pizza version will torpedo your diet with 820 calories, slap your kidneys around with 2,620 milligrams of sodium. I have the full nutritional information for both.
2,600? 2,600 milligrams of sodium? What? Papa Ritter, love you.
On the screen and in the description below. If you want to try out either one of these in the 8-inch versions, prepare to be separated with $9.99 of your hard-earned cash.
Going for 145 degrees. I am hoping. So the problem with this is going to be that they have the hot and cold ingredients, I think, but it is going to be toasted. I'm thinking we're going to hit 153. That sounds like more than if you just say 2.6 grams of sodium. Okay, fair. But only 1 gram of trans fat? Nice.
Or double up to a 16-inch AKA Giant for $18.99. Or make it an 8-inch Jimmy John combo for $13.39 before taxes in Georgia. With that being said, let's cut to the chase and head on over to Jimmy John's. I've got my order in. Let's pull over there, get our sandwiches, and do the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Pizza sandwich number 1 is 142.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Pizza sandwich number 2 is 151.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Pizza sandwich number 3 is 144.5 degrees Fahrenheit. If you've been watching my channel any length of time, you know I like my temperatures at 140 degrees or above. Hotter is always better. I would have liked to seen them a little bit hotter than that, but they are cooking them in a toaster oven like what you would see at Subway. So today, Jimmy John's, you pass the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Now it's time to open the lid. Take a...
They passed? Really?
Deep look inside, inventory all the content, head back to the studios and do the Joe is Hungry weight test. Well, Jimmy Johns, you did all right on the temperature test considering the oven that you're using, but let's see how you do on portion control when we take off for the packaging. In other words, set the tear again on the scales. Sicilian pizza number 1 weighs in at 12.27 ounces or 348 grams. Sicilian pizza sandwich number 2 weighs in at...
That's a big sandwich.
73 grams. Sicilian pizza sandwich number 3 weighs in at 14.05 ounces or 399 grams. Well, the difference between the heaviest and the lightest in this case is actually a little bit more than 10% of the average weight of all three. I'm not going to get real excited about that, but today they still don't pass the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test. Well, Jimmy John's, they don't have serving weights in their nutritional information. There's little more I can do about that except add them all up, average them out, do the math, and you come up with a sort of middle of the road 76 cents an ounce, which leads us on to the next test, the one and only, the Joe is Hungry big reveal.
Oh. Now, on principle, I don't particularly love Jimmy John's because of their owner and his personal practices. The sandwich looks pretty fire, though. I would make an exception. Jersey Mike's is the best sandwich, people? 100%. Dude, Jimmy John's do be just jimmying around. I don't particularly like Joe. I'm sorry. We'll only watch one Joe video and then we'll do something else.
This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Well, we've seen what it looks like, and we saw how much it was. Not a terrible price. Not too terribly far off from its ad photos. That's kind of
talking about the big game hunting, yes. Mike is definitely better, but more expensive. Both are better 1,000 times than Subway, but none of them really compare with local sub shops. Oh, for sure. I mean, go get something local outside of, a chain restaurant. Just my opinion, points for energy. You're entitled to your opinion. We'll move back into something else after this. I haven't caught up on Joe. I was trying to open this bottle. I apologize.
I'm expecting a little bit worse. Well, that leaves one more thing to do, and it is bite test.
It looks totally burnt on the bottom. It does. It looks like they absolutely toasted it to hell.
Test, engage.
I like the Joe videos. They're a nice little something different to do. I like mine darker. I mean, the reason I like doing Joe is that it's a break, but I mean it's not something we're gonna do every week. It's just fun to do something different, and I like highlighting a content creator that is different from bourbon stuff, and he's sweet and he's wholesome and he's just I like what he does, but again.
I'm not trying to watch Joe is Hungry videos every single week. Oh, the meat almost just came completely out. Oh no. Oh shoot. Sorry.
Bread was fresh,
froze.
well toasted, and held up relatively well. And it was even a little bit crispy. They had a generous amount of meat, which actually blended well with the marinara sauce. The mozzarella cheese, they definitely gave us plenty of that. And it's actually well melted and went well with all the other flavors. But I would like to say one thing. When I bit into this thing and I closed my eyes, my brain screamed out, meatball sub. Not really sure why. It was a little confusing. Maybe it was the marinara sauce. With that being said, we need to look back into the past, see what happened with Shadow Joe, and do the Joe is Hungry Sneakadoodle Bite. Sneakadoodle Bite number 1. Sneakadoodle Bite number 2. 1 second.
I love the Moe's truck in the background.
Joe, are you ready? Will Neff, we love you, and happy birthday!
Aww.
Sneakadoodle Bite number 3. I can taste the marinara sauce. There is ham, plenty of cheese, not a bad flavor. Let's go ahead and give this thing a score. If you don't know my scale is 1 to 10.
Okay.
And 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once in a lifetime.
Sneakadoodle is not helping his case. Oh, I love the Sneakadoodle bite. Okay. 1 to 10. Project Farm is basically the Tool version of Joe. Interesting. What are we thinking here? Scale of 1 to 10, decimals included. He seemed to really like this. He needs more gratuitous cat time. I don't disagree with you. I'm going 7.3. 7.8, okay. Tony's saying 7.3 as well. I think it's in the 7s. I think that the only thing that's taken off is, of course, the weight. We'll see.
Experience and almost never achieve. 5 and down is that slippery slope to the pits and depths of fast food hell. Let's go ahead and give this the number that it truly deserves. Jimmy John's. I actually like this. I'll say that right up front. Not a bad price. Fresh ingredients, good prep, except for the little sneeze with the consistency test. But I gotta ask myself a question before I give this thing a score. Does this thing make the earth shake under my feet? Probably not, but I still like it. So today, I'm gonna have to go 6.9. That is my number, this is my review, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.
Overshot it. Not happy about that. I'll be honest with you. I'm doing the butthead laugh. Very nice. Yeah, the 6.9 was a crazy pull. So I can't show you exactly what I poured. I can show you the color of the wax. I can tell you its rare character. It's a VEN, which is some of their Barton stuff. It's 125.28 proof, and it's 8 years, 9 months. It is not Pinhook. It's rare character. That's about as much as I can do. Or else I would get in trouble because Chad would get mad at me. He gets mad at me a lot. It just happens. You know? Chad's abusive. He does throw hands quite frequently. I will say. I get to where I question our friendship, and I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned for the future. I don't know what that means. I don't believe that. I love Chad. He's the best. He left a mark in my soul. Chad told me he likes me the other day. That's awesome. I'm concerned for the safety of your collection. That is something you should always be worried about. Like one small earthquake and things could I read it as concerned. Things could go downhill very quickly. Are Tony and Chade going steady? I don't know. That's... I've heard rumors. It's a great album by Fleetwood Mac, and I highly recommend it. Glue Them All Down. I've considered it. Also, my friend's house burnt down and his whiskey collection created a crater. My brother in Christ, what do you mean? It created a crater. Like it was so, like it made such a, like a fireball. Whiskey go boom? Guys, I have an idea for a video. Man only drank hazmat. Just be safe, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Man. Abandoned Bourbon replied to my story. Brian, He replied to my story earlier and said, "Let's go to Louder Than Life." I will not. I will not do that right now, my friend. I am still so holy shnikes. Could you imagine though if we did like a Mr. Beast style video where we tried to create the world's largest like whiskey crater? The investigator asked if they had bullets or fireworks where his whiskey was. Oh my gosh. Louder Than Life is mutants in my music scene. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't have fun, but this last weekend was so grueling that I don't have the energy. I have been okay. What you haven't heard is my regular talking voice, which is like this right now. I've been pushing through it so that I can do like my my podcast or presenter voice, but I have not been able to get my voice to recover from this past weekend. I've been going at 100 this entire stream. And that means that like I've set myself back by a few days. I'm really projecting. But if I were to just like talk at my regular volume, it would be like this. And it like my vocal cords are not recovered at all. It's just this insane vocal fry that I'm literally like I'm pushing it into overdrive for content. I do not have to record tomorrow. I've got to do Patreon stuff on Sunday. Because there's the bonus content that needs to come out next week. But the actual, bonus episode, like I said earlier in the stream, Chad and I did today. So that's taken care of. But I still have to talk with my family. So it's fine. But I will be on vocal rest for the next day or so. At least. Which I'm very excited about. I very much look forward to. So. Oh. Folks, that about does it for whatever the heck this stream was. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for okay, Dad, bye. All right. I'll see y'all next week. You guys are the best. I love you. It's been a great evening. And yeah, I'm Perry. It's Tim Pip Live. Okay, bye.